What's going on, everybody? This is Nick from Part-Time Pilot. Sorry, it's been a while since my last video. I, believe it or not, have stayed busy during the quarantine. Hopefully all you guys have as well and that you stayed safe. Let's get to the video. Today we're going to go over flight training options. This is going to be a quick video. Let's get right to it. So for flight training, remember that the goals of flight training is to meet your proficiency and experience requirements. So the experience requirements are the hours that you need in certain phases of flight, and the proficiency requirements will be determined by your flight instructor. Then you need a check ride endorsement from your flight instructor, and then you need to pass your check ride with a passing grade. Okay, so the first option is an accelerated flight school. So for those of you that want to be a commercial pilot and fly for airlines, this is the quickest way to do that. It's also the most expensive way. The alternative way would be to get your private pilot's license and then become an instructor to build up hours, slowly get your ratings all the way up to a commercial rating. These accelerated flight schools, if you have the money and the time, this is the way to go. So the way these schools work is they're basically going to step you through all the different ratings that you need up until your commercial rating. So first is going to be your private pilot. This is going to cost anywhere from $9,000 to $13,000 depending on how fast you get through it, how many hours it takes you, and where you're going to fly. More places are more expensive and more planes are more expensive, so it all depends on what kind of plane or where the school is. Okay, then you're going to get your instrument rating. So private pilot plus an instrument rating, you add the instrument rating, it's going to be about another $8,000. I'm going to say this is, if you want both of these, this is going to be between $17,000 and $22,000 total. Then finally you're going to add your commercial rating, which includes time building, a commercial rating course, as well as multi-engine. And for that you're going to add about maybe $17,000 more. You're probably about double it. So now total you're looking at $34,000 to $42,000 total for an accelerated flight school. So obviously this is very expensive, but if that's your goal, it's other education in the US is pretty much that expensive or more. So it's not a bad way to go. Again, if you want to just get your private pilot's license, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but it is accelerated. But it's going to require a month of your time completely dedicated to flying. So that's every day and night. You're going to be studying, you're going to be flying multiple times a day, maybe doing ground school every day. So it's difficult to find time to do this if you have a job, family, or other responsibilities. So that's why one of the most common ways to get flight training for those that just want to stick with a private pilot is a local flight school. So this, like I said, this is the most common way. You can find local flight schools at the AOPA website, which I'll put in the description for this video. I'll link to that. You can just search by your zip code, I believe. So these local flight schools, they own or lease a fleet of aircraft, and then they hire several instructors that you can match up with. They charge you for aircraft rental, so they charge you per hour for the aircraft rental. Those usually vary from anywhere from $120 to $215, depending on how new the aircraft is and how much horsepower the engine has. And then the instructor's time. I looked around the nation, and it's usually you're going to find anywhere from as low as $40 an hour up to $70 per hour, and even more. I'm sure you can find instructors charging up to $100 per hour. So if you do the math on that, total of rentals, instructor time in air and ground instruction to complete flight training, it's going to range anywhere from $8,000 to $14,000, depending on how often you fly. So again, if you have no interruptions to your training, you can be on the low end of that. You can get it done in the minimum amount of hours, pay about $7,000 or $8,000. But if you have other requirements, other responsibilities, it may take a little bit longer. You may have interruptions to your training. That's going to cost you a little bit more. So I would budget a little bit more for that, maybe in the $12,000 range. And then if you have a lot of interruptions in your training, like I did when I decided to move to a completely new state, it could even cost you more than that. So plan ahead. Don't move states in the middle of your training. It makes it hard and expensive. And then finally, a freelance flight instructor. So this is kind of a nice to have, a dream come true. But if you know a flight instructor, or you can fly or find a flight instructor, it can be a great, cheap, and quick way to get a pilot's license. It's just, maybe they want to stay current as a flight instructor, so they're happy to split costs with you, and it's a cheap way. You go up with them, but the only problem is you're going to need a privately owned airplane and the responsibility of maintaining it. So a lot of people who want to become pilots, they buy their own airplane, and they think, well, shoot, once I become a pilot, I'll have my own airplane. To me, that was too much responsibility of maintaining it, paying a mechanic, making sure it's safe to fly, all that stuff. But it is a way to do it, and if you find a flight instructor that has their own airplane and is willing to fly with you cheaply, that's the best deal. I don't have an estimate for that, but if you have that opportunity, by all means, go for it, as long as you trust that flight instructor and trust that airplane, because safety first, as always, guys. So thanks for watching. Again, I'll put the link in the notes below. And if you haven't already, please follow me at Instagram up here. It's @part_time_pilot. And then you're at my YouTube right now. So all you got to do in the bottom right of this video, there's a little subscribe button. Just click subscribe. You'll subscribe and you'll get notifications for whenever I post a new video. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.